and you get to this page and you have so many guides. How to get more podcast reviews. Okay, this is for later. Podcast guide, 31 of the best podcasting resources, best, podcast microphone. And I am using a toner microphone. I just bought it on Amazon and it wasn't, that expensive. Hello, everybody. So welcome back to a new Documenting My Journey. I wanted to try out this tea thing, what I'm, seeing different YouTubers do. I hate making noise when I drink tea, but I tried it for, your ears purposes, kind of like ASMR. But hey, welcome. Today, this morning, first of all, I'm like comfortable mode today. Okay, and I decided to work on my podcast. So really, increasing the quality of the podcast is something that I want to do this year full time. Like, the YouTube channel and the podcast, making sure that I always upgrade, optimize, the quality, and increase my chances to have, more listeners, more quality content for you guys. And this episode is all about, again, documenting. So I wanted to take you, with me on Buzzsprout. So this year I'm doing my podcast with Buzzsprout, and last year on the Fit Fun podcast, which is another podcast that I created with Matteo Melishar for our, startup Fit Fun Life, the Fit Fun podcast, we used Anchor. So Anchor is free and it's unlimited, a number of minutes, but they don't have the resources like Buzzsprout. So each platform, you should experiment. This is my, idea of like experiment to find something that you like. But Buzzsprout has, they've been there for a long time. And so one of my friends, he did a video for them. I'm going to link it also to start a podcast with Buzzsprout. It's so informative. So I'm just going to add it in the show notes and also in the description on YouTube. So in here, they have so many resources. So today it's all about optimizing the intro. So I recorded the intro, but I'm not satisfied because it was noisy. The audio quality wasn't right. So I'm gonna redo it. But also I'm gonna plan the workflow because listen, you gotta have a process. I wasted so much time not having a process, doing things last minute. The quality wasn't there. The content quality wasn't there. I didn't promote, just put it in the platform and then, praying that somebody will listen to it. Not a great strategy. Okay. So I decided to go all in, to take my time with it, to really work and refine, okay, and use the resources online and implement. This is huge. Okay, so today I decided to work on the intro again and also the process. So let me take you through the different guides that I'm gonna have a look at. So when you see here in the blog, so you go to buzzsprout.com. So Buzzsprout, buzzsprout.com/blog, and you have the guides and you have so many things. So announcement, basics, editing, marketing, monetization, news, too much. Oh my gosh, resources, opinion, directories, so many. And you click on the guides here and you get to this page and you have so many guides. How to get more podcast reviews. Okay, this is for later. Podcast guide, 31 of the best podcasting resources, best, podcast microphone. And I am using a toner microphone. I just bought it on Amazon and it wasn't, that expensive. I went with the smallest, the cheapest, that I can have right now because again, you gotta, save a little money, don't go crazy. So this was Fatima in the past, getting all this gear and not using it. So I'm like, okay, let me get something that is level 1. And then the more I increase, the quality, the more it is more successful, inshallah. Well, I will, upgrade, okay, and give you a better experience. So in here, you have the podcast conferences, not for me now. How to book a podcast guest that will grow your audience. That is interesting, okay? How to write a podcast script. I use this guide to, and also shout out to Dan Bennett from the Antipreneur Podcast for, helping me and sharing his, own script template. So in here, you have all the guides. So I decided to work on submitting your show to Google Podcast, and claim it on Google Podcast Manager. So this is different from Anchor. That I didn't have with Anchor, with Buzzsprout, is the listing on Google Podcasts. You need to have your own website. So I need to work on that, like maybe, add the RSS feed to my own website so Google can recognize it and be listed on Google. So I listed the podcast in every podcast platform that I can, and it was accepted also on Apple Podcasts. How to structure your podcast in 4 steps. So this guide is a good review of like, okay, what are the essential elements of podcast episodes? Like I have the intro, I have the outro, I have the main content. How do I, write down or like structure the main content, right? So I did that. I have my Google Doc, I wrote down everything. What is the podcast about? The intro, the discussion, a very basic step, but it gives you structure for you and it saves you so much time, right? And streamline your podcast workflow with templates. This is the one that it is super interesting for me today, and I'm gonna go through it. So it has, different, I love the structure, episode audio, show notes templates, so good. Publishing templates, yes, you gotta publish it. And again, using templates, this is something that I learned last year to do, because it saves you so much time and energy. You don't have to think about, oh, what should I write down? So if you already have your template and all the links that you wanna put over and over and again, just create a template, copy and paste, right, in the episode. So this is what I'm working on. Again, the lesson here is to really tell you, use the resources online. So we found ourselves overwhelmed. Don't go and watch videos, like 100 videos about, podcasting, or no, just take one. What are you working on? Like, okay, I'm working on my intro. So how can I make a good intro, like a basic level 1 that you want to keep improving, right? So you're not gonna listen to videos or like podcast episode on how to for a month before you take action. No. You listen, you watch, and you use right away. You implement. Buzzsprout, they're legit. Okay, they're here for such a long time, and they provide these amazing guides for free, which give you like really a good foundation to start on the right foot. Okay. To the next video, get focused, get clarity, and get started to live your best life. And in the meantime, share it with me here. Okay, if you're writing your podcast, this is PR time. Share the name of the podcast and the main struggles and which platform are you using, okay? And don't leave so fast. Check out this video about self-confidence. I love to talk about self-confidence, and we need self-confidence in our lives. Okay, so I'll see you very soon. Bye.